Hey guys, oh sh**, forgot on the lights. Damn. Oh god. That's my phone. Oh sh**. Hey guys, so let's just get straight to the point, shall we? So for those of you who don't know, or well, maybe most of you don't know because not a lot of you actually watch my videos. So I have started going to college, or more specifically, Sunday college. And not only that, I've actually just finished my first semester. So I was like, hey, I just finished my first semester, my exam, and it's the Hari Raya holiday. So what better time than the present to make a vlog, right? So yeah, I've already experienced half of my college time in the past like 6 months or so. So I just like to share a little bit of my college experience with all of you guys, or maybe some of you guys, since like I said, not a lot of people watch my videos. And a little update for you guys. I actually have in my hand a DSLR. So some of you may know and some of you may not know that I have a DSLR. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you might have noticed that I've taken some DSLR test pictures in the nearby park near my house. So yeah, I was actually dying to use this DSLR to make all my vlogs and whatnot. But there were two major issues as to why I can't really use that DSLR. And they're related to each other as well. Well, firstly, money is always an issue, right? I mean, no matter what you buy or what you have, money is always an issue. And that is the same goes for like if you have a DSLR. So in my case, a DSLR should have a variety of lenses, am I right? So if there's only one lens that you have, your options are really limited. And unfortunately for me, I am stuck with a telephoto lens, which has a focal length of about 75 to 250 millimeters. So to put it in layman's terms, basically the camera already starts off zoomed in really far. I mean, and there's no way of actually zooming it out unless you actually buy a different lens, which of course costs money. I mean, if I were to use the DSLR to make my vlog right now, the only part of my body that you'll be able to see is just my whiteness. I mean, you wouldn't be able to see like my face or my arms or whatever. I mean, you'll still be able to hear my voice, but what's the point? And the second reason why I can't really use a DSLR for my vlogs, and in particular this one. So like I said, both of the reasons are kind of related to one another. So I'm not, a rich person, like I said before. I don't have all the money in the world, and I can't really buy my own microphone for that matter. So I can't like attach a microphone to my shirt or whatever and like, make that act as a microphone so that my distance from the camera wouldn't really make that much of a difference in terms of audio quality. But I don't have that kind of money to buy a microphone like that, and I'm actually using the internal microphone of the DSLR. So imagine myself like 5 or 6 feet away from the camera, and the camera is trying to pick up my voice from 6 feet away. You obviously would not be able to hear my voice, and it would just sound really terrible. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm still stuck with my Sony CyberShot DSC something camera. But I'm not abandoning the DSLR, obviously. I'm still using it for like taking photos and whatnot. But I just won't be using it in vlogging. Instead, I'll just be using this same old camera. But anyway, back to the video. So usually when we talk about college, we would always be, trying to be independent, like we had to live by ourselves, we have to like manage everything ourselves and not really depend on our parents anymore and stuff like that. But as you can see from my surroundings, I'm actually still living with my parents, which is also another reason why I don't really have my own stash of money, I guess you could say. I can't really do anything independently yet, and that's why I can't really buy any lenses for my DSLR as well. But there are other things that you have to be really independent once you're in college, and I'll give you a really good example. But before that, I'd like to tell you guys that in college there are actually various pre-U programs that are available for you to study before you actually enter university. As for me, I actually took the AUSMAT program, also known as the Australian Matriculation Program. which is a really mouthful to really say out loud, so the abbreviation OSMAN is really good. So at the beginning of the semester, sometime like in January, we were asked to make our own timetables, which you might think is good. I mean, you can like choose when you want to be free, when you want to hang out with your friends, and when you want to study, and so on. But in my opinion, it is absolutely ludicrous, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. So I like had the perfect timetable in mind. It was like evenly spread out, like 3 classes each day. I had time to like rest, I had time to study, and I had time to like maybe revise, even though I had like an exam on that day. And it's just perfect. But then these 4 words shattered that dream timetable. First come, first serve. Which basically means like if a person has already taken a slot, then better luck next time, because that person has taken the slot, you can't take it anymore, even though it's like your dream slot, you want that slot so that you can rest, sleep and whatnot, but it's gone. So at the present, I actually have a timetable, which is the most inconsistent timetable you could possibly ask for. I have one day, which is jam-packed full of classes, like I only have 1 slot for rest and the rest of the slots all packed with classes, and then I have one day with absolutely no classes except for 1 class. But hey, at least it's better than my secondary school timetable. I mean, my secondary school timetable had full classes and only like 1 break period, which is about like 20 or 15 minutes, I think, if I remember correctly. So yeah, this is, at least a bit better than that. And another thing that I want to mention, remember back in secondary school, like in secondary school you aren't really able to hang out with your friends that much, because the only time which you can actually hang out with your friends is like outside school hours and during break, which is a really short time. Unless you can, try to hang out with your friends during school hours, but that would cause trouble and the principal might expel you from the school and whatnot. So, but in college, you can hang out with your friends during college hours. I mean, as long as you have a free slot, obviously. I mean, if you have a free slot, like if you were to be able to make that dream timetable like I mentioned just now, you will be able to hang out with your friends and at the same time have time to study and go to classes and stuff like that. And the best part about Sooooo College is that it's actually connected to Sooooo Pyramid, the shopping mall, via a canopy walkway. So basically, while you're in college, if you want to like hang out with your friends, do some shopping, you can just walk to Sooooo Pyramid and just do your shopping and then come back like nothing happened. But just don't shop for too long, otherwise you'll not be able to get back to college in time and you wouldn't be able to go to your classes. Because the thing about classes in college is that once you're late for classes in college, you actually aren't able to enter class anymore. You would have to like wait for another period whereby the lecture is free, or you would just miss the lesson completely and you would just miss like knowledge right there. You would just miss knowledge, and that is really precious in college. That kind of rhyme. And another thing that I want to point out is that college actually made me realize that time is so precious, especially for exams, because the time that they allocate for students to actually answer the exams or the tests is just insane, especially the maths-related subjects. There's just no time to think thoroughly on one question, and if you skip that question, you're still screwed because you're just not given enough time to answer the entire paper. Unless you're like a real super genius that like once you look at the question, oh, I already know the answer to that. Like, no, I just look at it, bang, it's like shooting a gun, shooting bullets at each question. Every time you see it, it's like in a millisecond, you just know what to answer. But that's not how a normal human being thinks, right? I mean, they would have to think a bit and then only answer the question. And because of the time that they give you to actually answer these questions, I mean, you just can't really think straight. You can't really get your mind into the question that they're trying to give out. I mean, you can't really focus on it. And because of that, that's when you just screw up. Have you ever had that feeling like while you're answering the question in an exam, you couldn't really get your mind to it? I mean, you couldn't really think of the answer because you were like rushing to answer it. And then like after the exam, you like suddenly found out the answer because you discussed it with your friends and took time to actually research on that question and you actually got it right. Yeah, that's how I feel every single time I finished an exam in college. Or anywhere for that matter. I mean, it just really pisses me off. I mean, I just want to get back into the exam room and just do that question again and get it right, but you know, it's just over. You just have the entire time left after the exam to just moan about it and just think about how bad your results are going to be, and that's just really, this really pisses me off. It leaves a really bad feeling inside of me, and it makes me feel really nervous for the day where I actually get the results, because you already know that it's going to be really bad, right? So, and of course, in college, well, you're free to wear anything that you please. For me, I always just like to wear a shirt, some jeans, just the usual casual wear, right? But as for the ladies, you probably know what they're gonna wear. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully I managed to give you guys some insight on how college life is like, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace!